Dr. Elena Voss ran her research lab the way she ran everything else in her life, with total, immovable control. Precision was her religion, and precision meant zero exceptions. When a rival lab's postdoc got caught selling unpublished data to a competitor, Voss reacted instantly. She didn't just tighten security. She issued a directive on official lab letterhead. No data of any kind could leave the building unless formally reviewed and stamped approved. Anything left unapproved by the end of the day had to be destroyed on site. No exceptions, no appeals. She taped the memo above every single workstation. The technicians blinked at it, shrugged, and quietly got back to work. Voss was not a woman you argued with, and everyone in the lab knew it. At first, the rule only caused minor headaches around the lab. A postdoc named Marcus burned an entire afternoon just getting routine logs stamped. A grad student cried in the hallway after her unstamped thesis backup got wiped. The wipe came from a nightly compliance sweep IT had quietly automated. Voss heard about the thesis and simply said she should have gotten it approved sooner. The rule, after all, was the rule, and rules didn't bend for anyone. Then the lab hired Priya, a 19-year-old intern fresh out of her first year. She was eager to prove herself and terrified of being the reason something went wrong. In her third week, she was handed the closing shift for the very first time. Lock up, run the compliance sweep, confirm nothing unapproved, sat on the shared drives overnight. That same week, Voss finally cracked something she'd spent 3 years chasing. A major grant renewal committee would review her results in exactly 9 days. She worked past midnight, compiling the final dataset, running purely on exhaustion and adrenaline. In her hurry, she saved everything to the shared drive under one simple folder name. She called it final_V3, then went home for 4 hours of sleep before her flight. She had completely forgotten to get the folder officially stamped and approved. Priya found the mysterious folder during her very first solo compliance sweep. She didn't recognize the name attached to it and had no idea it was Voss's. She only knew the rule was crystal clear about unapproved data left overnight. She had already seen what happened to the grad student who once asked for an exception. So at 11:47 p.m., hands shaking slightly, Priya followed the protocol exactly as written. She deleted the folder completely, then logged the deletion carefully, exactly per policy. She went home that night, feeling like she had done everything perfectly right. Voss found out 4 days later, the morning she sat down to build her slides. She opened the shared drive, searching for her data, and found the folder gone. She checked the automatic backups next, certain those would save her results. But the nightly compliance sweep, the one she herself had personally ordered, had wiped those too. A backup of unapproved data was, by the letter of her own memo, still unapproved. She called an emergency meeting and demanded to know who closed the lab that night. When Priya's name came up, Voss stormed toward her desk, ready to fire her instantly. Priya, pale and confused, pulled up the compliance log showing exactly what she'd done. Every single step matched the memo. Every step matched the rule Voss herself had signed. There was no version of events where Voss could punish her without exposing herself. Firing Priya meant admitting to the entire lab that her own rule had destroyed her work. 9 days later, Voss flew to the funding review with nothing but preliminary charts. She promised the committee she would follow up with final data soon. The committee's follow-up call never came, and the silence said everything Voss feared. The grant went instead to the rival lab, the one that started this whole mess. Voss took the memo down herself, quietly, on a Friday evening after hours. She thought no one was watching her. Peel it off the wall. Priya still keeps a printed copy of that memo in her desk drawer today, just in case anyone ever asks her to explain why she only followed the rules.